And welcome back. I'm here with Congressman Ami Bera on this Monday. Good to see you again, sir.
Glad to be back on.
We always love to have you on. We wanted to talk to you because you have a busy agenda this week. Yeah. Tomorrow you are going to be speaking at the McGeorge School of Law, and the topic that you're going to be addressing is foreign policy issues and how they can benefit the Sacramento region. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is the fight against ISIS, because over the weekend, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad came out and said that he is open to negotiations with the U.S. on the fight against ISIS. That is a significant statement, and that he is also not interested in stepping down as president, as the U.S. has suggested that he do in the middle of this conflict. So how important is it for us to move forward against this fight with ISIS with countries like Syria and possibly even Iran helping us along the way?
The Middle East is incredibly complicated right now, because you're also seeing what's happening in Yemen, where Saudi Arabia and Egypt are coming together to fight a fight in Yemen, which seems to now increasingly look like a failed state. So all across the Middle East, there's this turmoil. We have to make sure that we're looking for reliable partners, making sure that we're protecting America's national security interests and America's interests abroad. So with that, it increasingly looks like Sunni factions and Shia factions are lining up against each other. In the midst of it, you've got these tense negotiations with Iran as well, that wants to acquire a nuclear weapon. Bringing it back to your original question with Bashar al-Assad in Syria, he's been a brutal dictator to his people, and it does look like the Syrian people were rising up against him. This is something that Syria has to sort out. Obviously, as the world superpower, we're going to try to negotiate a peaceful resolution here, but I'm not sure how that happens with Assad staying in power. Well,
and it puts the U.S. in a difficult spot, because traditionally Syria and Iran are not countries that we would really be in concert with in any form. But in this case, when you're fighting something like ISIS, I guess in terms of the coalition, you kind of accept whatever assistance you can get. And Syria, of course, is a key region in that conflict to get that under control. He did say, President Assad said that the airstrikes are not working, that it's actually making ISIS more powerful. Do you think that is leading to more of a possibility of a ground scale fight against this group?
The airstrikes are driving ISIS into retreat, but the truth is the countries in the region, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Turkey, they actually have to step up to the plate, because you do have to have a ground campaign. But again, you're not talking about years, you're talking about decades here. And my perspective, and many of us on foreign affairs, think the countries in the region have to step up to take some ownership of what's going to happen there. Clearly, the United States has a role. We've got to protect our national security interests. ISIL is certainly a threat to us. But they're a different type of threat, right? This is the ideology that we have to fight against. They're asking for lone wolf terrorists. You've seen some of these devastating attacks in Europe. So we've got to stay very vigilant and strong against these lone wolves and this ideology.
Well, and you also want to stop them before they continue to grow. I know that you wanted to talk about India and counterterrorism efforts happening there, as well as economic development, and how that benefits the Sacramento region, partnering with some of these countries. Can you explain India and what your agenda is with that?
Absolutely. I was asked to go with the president to India back in January, and you're looking at an economy of over 1 billion consumers in India. It's one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Right here at home, the Sacramento Kings certainly are looking at making Sacramento a brand in India as well. So we've got an export economy here in Sacramento. We've got agriculture. We're one of the richest rice growing regions. Blue Diamond Almonds is a major brand in India. How do we open up those markets for Sacramento companies? And at the same time, when I've been in India, I've been talking to Indian multinational companies that sell products here in the United States. We want them to build their companies here, build their manufacturing here, because these are the markets that they're selling to. And they're looking at where they're going to locate their companies. I want them to think about the Sacramento region.
You're also thinking about the Sacramento region as it pertains to giving back, especially for Easter. And you have something lined up later this week. This has to do with the Twin Lakes Food Bank. You're going to be out there, I believe it's Friday, And tell us what you're going to be doing out there.
You know, we're going into Easter weekend, and this is a time for us to show our thanks. We'll be handing out hams, turkeys. They'll be handing out hundreds of Easter meals to families, and also hundreds of Easter baskets to kids. Again, you know, I'm grateful for everything that my family's been able to receive, and this is a time, you know, going into Easter weekend that we can give back.
Not just Thanksgiving, not just Christmas, but Easter too.
It should be year-round.
Yeah. Are you going to be giving out Peeps as well? Because if so, Rob is going to be there. He's a Peep fanatic.
I hope the Peeps are there.
Well, you probably heard about the Peep-flavored milk. Maybe I ought to drink my Peeps from now on, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peep-flavored milk. We'll have to try that.